Okay, so you've got a new project here, blank page. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new class, called it Rectangle Perimeter. No spaces, capitalized properly, click on OK. When I go in here, so what I'm going to do is I will explain the basic parts of what you get by default. First of all, this block in blue is your comment shell. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to replace this with your name. You're going to replace this with the date. So this is February 29th, 2012. Press enter, and we can also enter ICS3. Sorry?
Are you taking?
Oh, there we go.
Back. Okay, ICS3UR, and name of the program is Rectangle Perimeter, and description is this calculates the perimeter of a rectangle. Okay, and so that's my comment shell. And by the way, get rid of this generic stuff. Okay, so it looks kind of neat. All right, so public means that people outside of this class can see it. So if I want to use this class in another class, if it's public, I can get at it. If it's private, I can't. So most of your classes are almost always going to be public. Class is a keyword, which means I'm defining my class, and then this is the name of my class. You'll notice no semicolon at the end of that because a class is like a paragraph. Actually, it's like an essay. So I define the beginning and end of a block of my class using these curly brackets. And you notice if you click on the top curly bracket here, this one highlights, which means there's the end of my class. So I need a matching curly bracket at the very end of my program. Now I go in here, and you'll see here it says instance variables. Replace the example below with your own. Well, first of all, get rid of that little comment. Here's where I declare my variables between my class and my constructor. I use the word private because I don't want people to be able, outside of this class, to be able to get at, look at, change my variables. Okay, so I started off with the word private. Int means it's an integer, and in this case, I'm not going to use the variable x. I am going to use the variable width and length. So I am going to say private int width. And I could go to the next line and say private int length, but I can also go private int width, comma, length. And that will declare both of those variables for me. Okay, so now I've got both of those declared, and I also need an area. So I'm going to just declare the variable area as well. So this is where I've declared all my variables up here. I can't do anything with them down here. I can't assign values to them. I don't want to. I want to leave that for another part of the code.
Why are you writing area when you're finding perimeter?
Oh, sorry. Good question. That should be perimeter. Okay. This last method down here, I would suggest just get rid of it entirely. We are not going to use it right now. Next program, once we get into actual programs, I'll start talking about some other things that you can do to make this a little better. But for now, we're just going to use the constructor to execute our program, just because it's easier. So all I want to do is I want to print out the value of the perimeter. And so I know to do I'm going to get rid of this because I don't have any x's anymore. And I'm going to say my print statement looks like system.out.println. And again, I want to make this meaningful to the user. I don't want to just print a number. So I'm going to say the perimeter of a rectangle with length 13 and width 4 is space, end quote, and then I'm going to calculate, and now this time I need, oh yeah, you're right. And you're going to do that a lot, and that's what's going to give you half of your syntax errors. Actually, before I do the print statement, I'm going to calculate it. So I'm going to say my perimeter is equal to 4, 2 width and 2 length. So 2 times width plus 2 times length. Okay, and then I also need to assign values, so I need my width is equal to 4, and my length is equal to 13. Okay, so you'll see every line of code goes on a separate line. I assign the value to the width, I assign the value to the length, I assign the value to my perimeter, and then I just print out my perimeter here. And again, oops, plus, quote, space, no space, period, quote, end, semicolon, and I'm done. Okay, so there's my program. The main program for this time only is going to be in your constructor. I'm going to explain something for next time, but for now we're going to do it in the constructor. If I press compile with any kind of luck, no syntax errors. And then I right-click on here, and I click on New Rectangle Perimeter. I click on OK. It says a parameter of a rectangle with length 13 and width 4 is 34. Is that right? Yes, it is. Okay, so that's all there is to the program. So the second one is going to be very similar to that one.